You think your anxiety is caused by your job or your bank account. It is not. There are 6 quiet habits literally rewiring your brain for misery every single morning.
Wait, rewiring? You mean physically changing the brain structure?
Yes, physically. It is terrifying. We always blame our boss, the economy, or our relationship status for our lack of peace. But the call is coming from inside the house.
That makes me think of something I read recently.
About the hippocampus.
Exactly. The fact that chronic complaining, just 30 minutes a day, literally peels neurons away from the hippocampus. That is the problem-solving center of the brain.
So complaining makes you measurably less intelligent.
It makes you trapped. You complain about your credit card debt, and in doing so, your brain loses the capacity to figure out how to pay it off.
That is the first enemy right there. The illusion that complaining is just venting.
People think they are releasing pressure. Oh, I just need to vent. No, you are practicing being helpless.
You are rehearsing the tragedy.
Exactly. And the more you rehearse it, the better you get at feeling miserable.
I remember living in downtown Seattle a few years back. The rain was endless, right?
Oh, the classic gray skies.
Right. And I had this roommate who would wake up every single day and sigh about the rain. Every single day. By December, he wasn't just tired of the weather, he was deeply depressed.
His focus was entirely on what he could not control.
What you focus on grows. If you stare at the rain, you forget you have an umbrella.
Or a heater. Which brings us to the second enemy. It is closely tied to complaining, but it is entirely internal.
Negative self-talk.
The inner roommate.
Oh, I hate that roommate.
We all have one. Think about the things you say to yourself in the mirror. If a stranger walked up to you on the street and said, "You look terrible today. You are completely unprepared for this meeting, and you will probably fail," what would you do?
I would call the police or punch them.
Exactly. But you say it to yourself at 7 a.m. while brushing your teeth, and you just accept it as the truth.
Because we think it is self-awareness. We mask our harshness as being realistic.
I am just keeping myself grounded. No, you are crippling yourself before you even step out the door. Negative self-talk creates a self-fulfilling prophecy of fear.
Understanding. You do not take the risk because your brain has already simulated the failure 100 times.
Which leads perfectly into the third habit that destroys people. The complete absence of a target.
Lack of goals.
Yes, and I do not mean writing a 5-year corporate plan. I mean a reason to get out of bed.
Drifting.
Drifting is fatal. When you do not have a goal, your mind naturally fixates on threats. It is an evolutionary default. If you are not hunting a specific deer, you are worrying about every tiger in the bushes.
That is a profound way to look at it. Without a destination, every minor inconvenience feels like a massive roadblock because you do not have momentum to push through it.
You just sit in the car. And what happens when you just sit there?
You scroll, you delay. Which is enemy number 4, procrastination.
The great thief of time. But it is not just about delaying work. It is delaying relief.
People misunderstand procrastination. They think it is a time management issue. It is an emotional regulation issue.
100%. You are not avoiding the spreadsheet. You are avoiding the feeling of incompetence you associate with the spreadsheet.
So you go to social media to get a quick hit of dopamine to soothe the anxiety.
But the anxiety doesn't leave. It just waits in the background, growing larger. The unfinished task becomes a monster in the closet.
I felt this deeply last year. I delayed doing my taxes until the very last week. The actual work took 2 hours. The psychological weight of avoiding it ruined my mood for 3 months.
2 hours of work, 90 days of suffering. That is the mathematics of procrastination.
It destroys your self-trust. Every time you say, I will do it tomorrow, and you do not, you subconsciously label yourself a liar.
And when you do not trust yourself, you desperately seek trust from others.
The need for validation. Enemy number 5.
This is the quietest killer of them all.
Because it disguises itself as being a good person, being agreeable.
Yes, you think you are being polite, but you are actually becoming a chameleon. You change your colors based on who is in the room.
You lose your own shape.
And then you wake up at 40, sitting in a beautiful house, and you realize you built a life for someone else. You took the job your parents wanted. You bought the car your neighbors respect.
And you are miserable. Because approval from others is a moving target. You can never truly catch it.
If your happiness depends on an external audience, you are always one negative comment away from a breakdown.
Which inevitably drives you to look at the people who seem to have it all together. Enemy number 6.
Comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel.
It is the ultimate tragedy of the digital age.
We see the vacation photos, the promotions, the perfect families. But we do not see the silent panic attacks, the credit card debt, the arguments at midnight.
Comparison doesn't just steal your joy, it blinds you to your own progress. You could run a mile faster than you ever have, but if someone passes you on the track, you feel like a failure.
Because you measured your worth by their speed, not your own growth.
So how do we stop this? If these 6 enemies are so deeply ingrained, what is the way out?
It starts with observation. You cannot defeat an enemy you do not see. Catch yourself complaining and stop mid-sentence.
Collision-oriented. Just cut it off.
Yes. Replace the negative self-talk with neutral facts. Not fake positivity, just facts. I am struggling right now, but I can figure this out.
Set a tiny goal. Do the task today.
And remember that no one is watching you as closely as you think. Run your own race.
Run your own race. That is the only way to win your peace back.